made a small child cry today.
And welcome to the third.
Wow.
You know what? I like that. I'm gonna keep that because I was recording. We're back. It's been only a day, guys, right?
Yeah.
It's only.
Yeah, we posted last week.
Yeah. It's been pretty good. It's been fantastic. Yeah. Brandon, Grace, how you guys doing? How you guys doing?
Great since last week.
Tired.
Why?
I'm tired.
Why?
Just tired.
Did you also make small children cry?
I can't say that I did.
But you can't say that you didn't.
I get paid to do that.
Oh my god.
No, I can't say I did anything.
Why not?
Alright.
You don't know how things work around here, neither do we. But essentially, we did stuff and then made fun of people. I can do that more professionally, but I don't feel like it.
Okay, so essentially, if you haven't listened to any of our other episodes, Third Wheel Podcast is essentially where we tell our life stories, which are hilariously funny or painfully embarrassing, and we decide who didn't make the cut, who wasn't good enough, who didn't make enough children cry.
Whose past trauma just doesn't deserve to be recognized?
What doesn't have enough spice?
And as we run out of ideas for topics, we'll probably include some
We'll
sort of
take
games.
6 months long hiatus.
It was a week.
Yeah, just a week, guys. Just a week.
A week, month long hiatus. Alright. So, we figured today would be catch up and just talking about what happened during that, whole week period of dead silence, and also just kind of just discuss, I guess, other things going on with Third Wheel. So, what's been up with you guys? What you been doing since the last time we uploaded? And
Much. So, in the time that I last talked to you guys, I came home from school, decided to do community college, and started working full-time at an elementary school.
We like to hear that. Do you like saying that?
Depends on the day.
You know what?
That's
sounds
fair
like
enough.
any educational figure. That is very fair. What about you, Brandon? Since the last time we've convened.
College.
Really? That's all you're gonna...
I'm in college. It's the college grind is
You were in college before.
Yeah.
I'm asking you what's new, man. I'm asking you what's up.
Yeah.
What's been different.
Been getting into digital forensics. That's kind of the career path I'm really looking at. I don't know.
That's something different than... It's not just the same thing. I've been just doing college for 6 months the entire time. So,
What about you, Steven? What have you been doing?
Honestly, I haven't really been doing much. I have been...
We appreciate the honesty.
No, I haven't even really been doing... I don't think it's fair to say I've been doing college. Let's see, I have a, hour and a half commute, and every day is a battle on whether or not it's worth the energy to go on that drive. I don't feel like it. My college career is... My college career is fueled by Starbucks. That's really the only saving grace I have. Other than that, I've, I guess, just been working, and I actually haven't been doing anything else other than that. I live a very boring life.
I know.
Hey, where are my feelings?
Yeah, no, but I've been here. I've been
Somehow
here.
I ended up with the most exciting life out of all of us, and that's
Yeah, well,
sad.
you're the one who's not just like constantly. Well, actually, that's not true. I was gonna say you're the one who's not constantly at school, but
I am, just in a different context.
You're just yeah, you're not the same, not the same school.
Now I'm watching other children suffer instead of being the one that's suffering.
Now I caused the suffering.
I really do.
I do
I
want
mean-
to. What?
I was gonna say, I mean, yeah, you're kind of doing both now. I mean, because you said community college, right? Yeah.
I thought you said that you were kind of doing both, and I was like, we literally asked you if you made children cry, and you said no.
No, I am doing community college right now, so I'm both working full time and doing school.
How do you?
A lot of tears. I mean, mostly not mine, but
That's just, you gotta clarify that.
Whose tears?
Let's count. Steven, yours, 'cause you don't like helping me with statistics.
No, I don't. I do not.
For all you viewers at home, when I first started on chapter 1, and I asked Brandon and Steven to help me, they're like, sure. And these guys have taken physics and calculus 1, 2, and 3, but they saw chapter 1 of elementary statistics and immediately dropped everything they were doing to open the course catalog and figure out a class they could take that was not statistics.
It's not math! It's just not math!
I mean, it is now, just the first chapter wasn't. You just didn't like the vocabulary.
Don't do vocabulary, okay? There's a reason why numbers are how things work.
Brandon called me the day he found out he never had to take another English class, and I swear to God he was gonna cry. Tears of joy.
I'm waiting for that next semester, baby. Not a single damn English word. I will be writing in binary.
Well,
It's so cool. Can you explain more on how you made children cry, though? Because I
So, for those of you at home, let's elaborate a bit. I said that I work at an elementary school, but you might be thinking, hey, how? You haven't graduated college yet. And that is a mighty fine question.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. But I am a kindergarten teaching assistant, and it's a struggle every day. So actually, I don't need anything other than a high school diploma to be in my position, actually. So if you're interested in teaching and want to know if it's a great fit, definitely recommend looking into.
Far away.
Yeah. All our listeners in Belgium, I don't know what I don't know how that will apply to you, but you know what? You'll figure it out. You'll be fine. But yeah, so children just take things really, really personally, and I say that very harshly, not even lightly. I say it harshly. It really depends on the kid, though, because there are some kids where they'll walk up to me and they'll be like, oh, so-and-so just threw a ball at me and it caused me to fall face first on the cement, but I'm okay, and then walk away. And then there are other kids where I'll be like, did you just accidentally hit this person? And then they'll start crying profusely. And it's like, you're not even in trouble. I'm just asking a question. Like, accidents happen, but they're just too focused on the fact that, like, they're being accused of something and that they might be in trouble to, like, actually hear me or understand. I don't know.
That the tears just burst out of them.
So, today, by the way, happy Valentine's Day, guys.
No.
No. Fair enough. Not my fault you're single, Steven.
Don't talk about it, alright?
In elementary school, it's not about love. It's about candy. Plain and simple.
Absolutely.
Plain and simple. But in kindergarten, the way we deal with it is we pretend it does not exist.
Good.
Nope.
Good.
Not.
Standing ovation, actually.
Yeah. So we have small things throughout the day. Like, we have Valentine's Day activities, but we don't have an actual party because God knows they don't need one. So at the beginning of the day, we all, exchange our Valentines and stuff, and I don't know why we allowed this, but we allowed them to keep their bags that they held all their previous Valentines in, like, next to their desks.
Oh.
Just because we felt like they'd sneak more from their backpacks than in the classroom,
Yeah.
since it's kind of easy to spot when they're eating at recess. Or when they're eating in class, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's this little girl who, you know what, I will call Abby. Abby decided she wanted to sneak one of her extras, because some parents just pack extras so that way they don't risk, being short one or two.
Yeah.
She took one, and we explicitly told them, like, absolutely under no circumstances are you allowed to have sugar, because they're just the worst when they have sugar. Terrible little greedy goblins. And then, of course, dude, they're all snitches. Like,
Well,
anytime, it doesn't matter if they do the same wrong thing a million times. If they see someone else do it, they're like, oh, and they run. They run as fast as their little legs. Like, I see them. They're like, oh my gosh. They're like, and for context, I go by Miss Gracie because my sister works at the school I go at, and so she already has our last name taken.
God, sucks.
So all of a sudden I'll hear from across the playground, Miss Gracie! And another kindergartner behind them screaming, don't tell her! Right. But what was so unique about this situation is the person that snitched was her very best friend. And she's like, Miss Gracie, Abby has a lollipop when we were specifically told not to have any candy. And so I'm like,
such a brat.
So I look over and she does. She has one. And I was like, Abby, throw that away right now. And she did. And then she started crying. And she's like, I just started. It's going to waste. And I was like, you know what? It wouldn't have gone to waste if you had followed my directions.
If you just didn't open it, it would still be unopened.
Yeah, no, literally. There's this little girl, the one that snitched, who let's call her Eleanor. I like the name. That's nowhere even close to her name, by the way.
Well, I know, it's just so much more elegant than Abby.
I like Eleanor. I don't know. It's the first name that popped into my head. So Eleanor got under my nerves today because she didn't bring her lunch to the lunchroom. And so essentially what we do is we go to recess at 9:30. Recess is done at 10, and then there's an hour gap of a random elective depending on the day. And then it's lunch, right?
Yeah.
So when recess is over, we bring our lunches over to a certain spot, so that way we can just grab them when the elective is over, since we have separate classrooms for music, art, and PE and stuff. So we're not going back to our classroom. So we say a million times, grab your lunches, grab your water bottles, you're not allowed to go back in. I forget is never ever an excuse. They're old enough to know. So if your 5 or 6 year old tells you I forgot and tries to baby you, don't believe them for a second. Like, they are little people, they know what they're doing, they're so calculating.
I thought you were gonna call out our 5 to 6 year old audience listeners and be like, stop doing that. Do
It's
not
true.
try that. It will
Because literally, we tell them, get your stuff. And so she like raises her hand in the lunchroom, and I come over and I'm like, yes, but yes, Eleanor. Just bleep that part out. Yes, Eleanor. Whatever. So she raises her hand when I come over and I'm like, yes, Eleanor. And she's like, I don't have my lunch.
Oh, sucks.
And in my head, I'm just kind of like, what do you want me to do about that? You know? And so I was like, well, where is it, Eleanor? And she was like, in my backpack. And I was like, well, why don't you have it? And she's like, I forgot. And I was like, well, I forgot isn't an excuse in kindergarten, right? She's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. So it didn't ring any bells when the rest of your friends were holding their lunchboxes in their hands when we went to go drop them off. And she went, no. like I'm the crazy one for putting those dots together. But you know what? I
Seems
cannot.
valid.
I just cannot. Kindergartners are just...
Yeah.
They're either like super fun and amazing to be around, or you just want to like curl up in a ball and just cry.
I was gonna say choose your next words pretty good.
Yeah, no, those were not the original words I was gonna go with. I love my kindergartners, but they definitely take advantage at every single opportunity they can.
Oh yeah.
Like they are noisy and loud with other teachers because they know, they think we're babies, and like they know they're allowed to get away with stuff because they're little. It's so weird to explain, but they know.
This is where the popular kids start forming.
No,
These early days.
that's what's so crazy is you can tell who everybody is going to be. There's this little girl who I'll call Chelsea. She is absolutely a future introvert. She doesn't like talking to people. She will hang out with me at recess just because she doesn't like to talk to people. She will go out of her way to pick up trash or clean up the classroom because she doesn't want to talk to her classmates.
For her.
Literally, like they will be like doing some sort of activity on the carpet, and I just see her going around the classroom picking up like scrap pieces of scrap paper people just throw away.
What a
And I'm
saint.
just like, Chelsea, sit down, socialize. And you know
stealing
what?
jobs.
Yeah, you're stealing my job, Chelsea. And it's like, it's not that I don't think that's cute and that she's not being helpful, but it's just kind of like, we need to find her some friends,
Oh yeah.
because she does have one friend, but she's...
Score.
Because it's so weird because you'd never expect this from her until you know her really well, but she's like, you can't play with anybody else but me.
Who, Chelsea or the other
Oh.
person?
No, her friend, who we'll call Kate.
Oh no.
Oh.
We'll call her Kay. And not
Well,
Brandon's
Brandon.
K, like K-A-Y.
Brandon, do you have a confession to make?
No.
No.
Good, because I would
But-
hope that you wouldn't.
And then there's another little girl who we'll call Claire. Claire, absolute future mean girl. Like, she cannot stop herself. She has been given 2 citations already this year. She just cannot, like, chill. It's like insane. She... Such a little liar. She...
Oh no.
No. And you know what? I've talked to my kindergarten teacher about it, and she uses the exact same word to describe her. She's a liar. She's manipulative. She purposely tries to trip people when they walk by. she's mean. She's nasty.
No.
Yeah, no, like you definitely can tell who they're gonna be when they grow up. Like, you don't know, but you can tell like who's gonna get what personality type.
Jeez.
I don't know why that's so funny to me.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, that is also the thing. It's just, bullies and all that stuff do start at an early age, too. Yeah,
But-
so you do see it super early on, but I don't know why that visual is really funny to me. Kids falling down is just funny. I don't know.
What's so crazy is I assumed based on her demeanor that she was an only child. Come to find out she's not an only child. She's just so, like, egocentrical. Like, she's never mentioned her sister before.
Interesting.
I met her mother at open house, and I was like, holy crap, that is your daughter. I was like, oh my god.
Is her mother the same way?
Her mother is like a very polished, elegant version of her.
Oh no.
Like, she was talking to me, and she was just very condescending about my age. Like, a lot of parents were kind of, like, uneasy about my age, which, like, I get, but, like,
Yeah.
you need to start somewhere and gain experience.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like, it comes with like, I don't need a degree or teaching credentials to be a teaching aide, you know?
Right.
So don't act shocked or like kind of like borderline disgusted with me because I meet the requirements of my job.
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong, my job is mentally taxing, but when they're in class learning, I'm literally cutting out like shapes out of construction paper. Like, it's not rocket science to do my job.
Well, even the TAs at like universities and stuff don't need a teaching degree or anything like that, and some of them are still in school when they're doing that as well. And that works on like, the college level as well. Like,
Yeah.
we've even had professors who haven't even had their PhDs and were still students when they were teaching us how to do things, and it's just like, ha, interesting, but
And it's
fine.
like, it's like, don't get me wrong, because I love parents that are amazing advocates for their children, but there's a difference between being an advocate for your child and denying any wrongdoings they do ever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the only thing that drives me more insane is like refusing to teach your child to advocate for themselves.
Yeah.
Because like, I also work in 7th grade after I work with kindergarten, because kindergarten gets out at 2, the big kids get out at 3. So at the end of the day, I go into 7th grade science and I help out with them. And sidebar, I did not realize how badly COVID had affected the education of
Oh yeah.
children until I had a 7th grader ask me how to spell Valentine today.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, their spelling is so bad.
Well,
So bad.
Because quarantine took away 2 years, right?
It did, yeah. It took away like 2.5 years because they were also like hybrid for a while.
My God.
Mhm.
But
That's
no,
weird.
like I grade their homework. It's really sad, actually.
Jeez.
I have an album dedicated to their spelling errors.
Oh, I feel that way sometimes in discussion groups in my English courses. Just be like,
It's so weird because I have to remind myself that they're like 11, 12 because they look like high schoolers.
yeah.
It's so weird to me. But
visual conception of age starts to just not exist the older you get. You're just like, huh. You're like, what, 12? I'm 15. What the fuck? What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Working in different grades is just... It's weird. It's weird. Because I'm like at a weird point where like... I don't know. I like all different groups. So what I'm realizing is 7th grade finds me funny, like, in a way kindergarten never could. But at the same time, like, the same people that I think are hilarious are the same people that probably would have made me cry if I was in their class.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, the people I find are, like, really funny are also probably, like, the class bullies. And that's where I'm, like... Because, like, as a teacher, looking back, the things that made me so upset as a student, coming from the perspective of a teacher, there's not much we can really do all the time.
No.
Like, we're very limited in what we can do. Like, I remember something that I felt so personally, like, upset and attacked about was... I'm going to say the name, but I'm going to change it up after, so leave it. Freaking bro. My chair in library.
And your name.
Yeah, no. No, literally stole my chair in library. Like I set my stuff down and I pulled the chair out and then she sat down as I was pulling the chair out.
Appreciate it.
And then I looked over at the teacher and I told her what happened and she was like, I don't know what to tell you, find another chair. And all that was left was a table full of boys. And I was so mad, and I was so mad for so long.
Is this growing up or like recently?
This was like a long time ago. This was like, I want to say like
that point
3rd, 4th grade.
That point didn't come across to me right
No,
away.
okay, no, I said stuff that made me so upset as a kid, like when.
Got you. I was just like, wait, a 7th grader stole your chair, and you were. you
No,
looked at the
so,
teacher,
like-
and he was like, no, leave.
I don't know. So that like made me so upset, and then I deal with that same situation every day, and I'm just kind of like, why the hell do you care what exact chair you sit in?
It's my chair.
So it's just so weird to like look with like new insight on that situation,
Yeah.
you know? Because it's like you see it so often. It's like the same reason that kids cry when they get cut. And I'm like, why do you care? You get to the same place at the exact same time, you know?
Yeah.
Something I have said so much since working at a school that I did not expect is it doesn't matter that you're not at the front of the line. Every train needs a caboose. I say that like every day.
That's fair.
Every day.
Well,
You want to say it again?
Every train needs a caboose.
That's like just a thing with kids. It's so weird.
I know. They have. I mean, I understand they have skewed priorities,
Yeah.
but for me, I'm just like, nah.
I definitely think that, like, I don't know, being able to do kindergarten though is definitely like one of the harder teaching areas as well. Not only is that just
Yeah.
like the early development where they're starting to like learn who they are and like how you said like everyone
develop
becoming,
consciousness.
yeah, like become the person and see how they're gonna grow up. Like also they're just little kids are just little kids and it
You know what?
We had that.
Everybody says my job is so hard, but my job is a cakewalk compared to TK. Like, if I had to
That's
do
fair.
TK, I would. I see them every single day at recess and at break, and I'm just like, ugh.
I just I
Like-
don't have the patience for that. Like kids are cool. I love kids, but I don't have the patience to do
Well,
that.
it's like there are 3 distinct type of TKers. The TKers that are where they're supposed to be. Like, yeah, they kind of starting to learn the ABCs and like numbers and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the TKers that are like really, really old to be in TK, but they weren't old enough to be in kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like the like almost 4 when they started, like not even 5 by the time they go to kindergarten. So they're basically toddlers still.
Yeah.
So it's frustrating to get anything done with them at all. And they have no lack of, or they have no like sort of like at least kindergarten, that's when they start developing it, but they have no sense of empathy or feeling any sort of compassion for other people.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm probably it's probably just because of the fact that I don't really know much about like child development and like the different
Cough
stages
my
they
major.
go through as far as just like when they retain information ever. But like it's just if I were given some kids, I wouldn't know how to interact with like a certain age group because like the difference between 3 to 4 is a lot and the difference between 4 to 5 is also a lot.
Yeah,
So it's
it
just,
really is.
it's such a huge jump between the age groups. Like I coach soccer for like for younger kids, but like I don't want to coach just like the younger kids. I coached the oldest age group that I could at the time, which was like 11 and 12-year-olds. And the head of my club a few weeks ago asked me if I wanted to run be the coach for a 2017 group, which would put them at 5 and 6 years old. And I was just like, no. That's the age in where it's still like 4 to 5 kids kicking a ball back and forth, with parents being like, "Good job!" And it's just like, no.
So crazy to me about this age group is everybody sees them as like these cute, adorable, like, let's all be friends, like teamwork makes the dream work, whatever.
That's when fake
These kids have some
toxicity
very
starts.
deep-rooted aggression issues.
Yeah.
Like today, like this little boy who like I've only ever seen his sweet side. We did like a girl versus boy match in PE and the girls won. And he's like screaming so aggressively at them, and he's like, "No, they cheated! And he like yelled at them. And I forced him to apologize to all the girls, and he got so embarrassed he cried. And I was like, "Bro, I don't care. You got some major anger issues, dude." It's like, bro, calm down. I was literally, I was like, I had a conversation with them, and I was like, "Hey, so boys, you ended up winning in the end. What did you win?" And they're like, "Oh, we got to line up first." And I was like, "Okay, well, the girls are right here at the exact same time. So what did that really accomplish?" You know, I was like, "You lose, nothing happens. You win, nothing happens. We just need to be happy for our friends."
You're not our friends.
I will say this: the school I work at, they do kind of push everybody's friends a little too far. Because we had a new student join us 3 weeks ago, and he confided in me like a week later, after he first joined. He's like, "Everybody was so in my face and so close to me, I thought I was gonna cry on the first day."
Definitely. That's the you don't fit in, you get ostracized.
Yeah, they definitely got in his personal space.
That is definitely just the new kid feeling, anyways. It's just
No.
like you show up and you're like,
Our school is like special. They like have no sense of boundaries.
That's great for a school. I love it when schools don't abide by my personal space.
Yeah.
That's the best part about everything.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was whenever, like, my class got a new kid and stuff. There'd be that time frame where everyone would be interested in them, but then a lot of the times they turned out to be an asshole, and then they became known as.
Yeah, that
it
fades.
just changed really quick.
Did you start those movements, Brandon? Were you the judge?
No. For some reason, in middle school, we got a couple new kids in middle school, and for some reason, the teacher always picked me. She's like, "Oh yeah, no, Brandon, you want to show the new kid?"
Oh, you okay? I will tell you exactly why we pick kids like you, Brandon. You want to know why? Because we picked a kid that was exactly like you as a kid. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because we want a kid that is a good example of what a student should be.
Look at you!
Wyatt.
Yay!
No, literally, we pick students
Why?
that show them how they should be. They pick students that should be an example to them.
Yeah.
Like, for us, we picked a kid who I will call...
Brandon.
No. Little Brandon Jr.,
No,
fine.
Brandon.
Okay, Brandon Jr., he's very, very quiet. He's very reserved. Like, he knows how to play on the playground and stuff, but, like, even when talking to me before school, after school, during breaks and recess, he will, like, raise his hand instead of just coming up to talk to me. Like, he never talks in class. He's very, like, to the line with the rules, you know?
Yeah.
And so, part of the reason we picked him to be the buddy is because we wanted to break him out of his shell a little bit, but the main reason is because he is a model student, and we wanted to show him, like, how he should act, like, what the rules are, because he knows all the rules and he follows them.
Right.
And so he's a great person to, like, model our rules and virtues. And so we pick students that we feel will, like, model the virtues that we have, like, learned thus far. Because there are a lot of kids that just don't follow them at all.
Yeah.
And you, Brandon, you were a great example child.
That's also why the new kid is usually the one that gets picked on the most.
Because they do. It's not random. They think about it. We think about it, and we talk about who would be the best person.
The teachers have favorites, guys. You heard it here first.
Actually, that is 100% true. Like, we don't hate anybody, but
Education is biased.
No, we don't hate anybody because we do understand, like, circumstances and stuff. Like, even my most difficult students, I still, like, have moments where I enjoy talking to them and being with them and stuff. But I do have, like, students that, like, I prefer to talk to more than others, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
What happened in my 8th grade class, students would ask our 8th grade teacher, who ended up becoming the principal of our school, like, after I left, but he was very he was like in charge of discipline and stuff, so he was very like like he took all that. Just he was just a very serious teacher or whatever. And my classmates would just point blank ask him like, "Oh yeah, who's your favorite student?" And a lot of the times you would just say me because I just didn't talk to him. I wouldn't like try to chat him up or anything like that, like a lot of my other students would. But then like we would have a conversation, and then like we would have a different opinion on something. It's like, you're not my favorite anymore.
Oh, okay. So what I will
I
say
actually love
is
that.
teachers that are very forthright about saying they have a favorite don't, and those who say that they don't have a favorite 100% do.
Oh,
It's like a weird reverse psychology thing.
Well, yeah.
yeah.
I like don't even know how to describe it, but like every teacher that has ever been like, "Oh, I don't have a favorite," 100% always has a favorite.
I don't think so. It was this thing that I saw, and it applied to like families. It's like when asking a parent, "Do you have a favorite kid?" If you say no, you're full of it, right? There's always going to be one kid that you prefer over all the rest, right? You love all your kids equally, but you like one more than you like the other ones.
Yep.
And that's totally true because like, while my mom like will always be like, "I'll allow you equally," she has the best connection with my sister. One, because it's her only daughter. She's the oldest. Like, she's been around for the longest, and she's also like constantly talking with my mom about just everything going on, right? She's 100% the favorite. Whereas with my dad, my oldest brother runs his business, works with him, does all this stuff, right? Like, he loves us all equally.
So what I'm hearing
Definitely
is
his
you're
favorite.
not the favorite.
I am no one's favorite in any aspect of this family.
Dude, I know I'm my mom's favorite because I am the password child. Very forthright. And my siblings know I'm the password because we share accounts.
That's fair.
Oof.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna take a quick pause because I ordered this food like 2 hours ago and it's here, so
All right, so
I'll be
Steven
gone
went
for
to
like
go
3
eat.
minutes.
No.
What?
Nope, nothing. Go get your food.
I edit this, so
no.
And now that we
No,
know
go
that
get your
Steven
food.
is still totally here, let's continue this totally normal conversation.
yeah, I'm a part of this. Don't mind the fact that I'm getting quiet as I walk away.
No, but it's weird because I don't want to like put these kindergartners in this like box of like I know who they're gonna be when they grow up. I know their personalities because people
Yeah.
do change. And like, let's face it, I was a problem child growing up. I was the biter. I was the person that was constantly laying down and not following the rules, you know. And here I am, an educator.
Yeah.
So it feels weird punishing children for something I used to do growing up, but I also realize it's a means to an end, so that way they do become successful,
Right.
like I did. My main thing is it's really hard to find a delicate balance of, like, treating kids with disabilities, like, or learning disabilities, like other kids. Like, for me personally, I have ADHD, and I feel like a lot of the reason I grew up to be so successful is because I didn't really have a lot of I didn't have like a
Handicap.
specialized plan. I didn't have any like what's the word?
Like handicaps kind of thing? Or
No, I don't like the word handicaps because they're not. They're like I don't know, they're like helpful tools, like essentially like more time on homework, more time on tests and stuff, and I feel like growing up, that didn't benefit me. Like, at a certain point, we're not helping these kids. We're granting them another disability and, like, treating them like they're an exception to the rules.
Right.
You know? But it's so hard to say that when you're a newcomer, you know? Because it just feels like, like the freaking newbie is trying to teach us how to do our job that we've done for like 30 plus years. But it's like, come on. At a certain point, just because someone has ADHD doesn't mean that they're allowed to get away with murder.
Are you making fun of me?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you heard that whole thing, right, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did
100%.
murder. Yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on it?
I commit murder, yeah. Murder's cool.
Alright, well, you just incriminated yourself, so.
Yeah, thank you.
On the Third Wheel podcast.
I edit these. Anyways, alright. Well, Brandon.
Yeah.
Other than, Grace has, the most interesting stuff going on. Like, tell me what's going on. Say more. Imply more about what's going on with the life of you.
Well, if we're gonna keep on the topic of kids, there's that one encounter we had, where we thought a little child was summoning Cthulhu. I guess for context.
I feel like you should provide context.
So, basically, Steven and I are in this 3-hour math lecture, math and computer science lecture on Fridays, and we have about like an hour before that. So like we're just this one particular day, we're like, all right, and let's just go grab some lunch at Panera. And so we're just chilling.
According to the employees, Panera's disgusting. You should never eat it.
The employees can go to hell. Panera is awesome.
It tastes awesome, but they said it's like the actual food is disgusting.
I don't care.
Considering how much Dr. Pepper you put in your body, you obviously don't respect it. So you know what? Do you?
It's so true. When I ordered food, I went, free pizza? Well, I guess I'm getting so much more stuff then.
Continue, Cthulhu and all.
So we're sitting down, we're waiting on our food and stuff, and we have, coincidentally, we're just kind of really busy working on
oh yeah, coincidentally.
studying for.
Oh yeah,
that was definitely not the right word,
busy.
but that was definitely not the right word.
Accidentally, coincidentally.
Yeah,
coincidentally.
Whatever. I can speak words.
I don't know if you can.
I just had a stroke.
In one season of this, we've learned that that's not true.
Shut up. But basically, we found out last minute we have a little quiz at 9/11 and study for. So we're just kind of cramming, and as we're like trying to talk to each other and figure stuff out, we just hear this little kid. I don't even remember what they were saying. We just heard
was shouting a combination of what was either teacher, preacher, Peter, or like feed me, something along those lines. Every freaking second.
And that's not an exaggeration.
3 seconds.
And this went on for, I'm not exaggerating, like a time frame of what, like 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
And there'd be some small intervals where the kid was quiet, but then like right when we start talking, it'd be like, Data! and it got to a point like Steven's like about to lose his mind, and all of it, like as it got as more time went on, we started realizing there was more noises being emitted aside from the child, and it sounded just. I don't even know how. It was just like this very soft, like shrieking. And so you would hear the kid pop off or whatever with the teacher, and then you would just hear.
You definitely cut out for that noise, but I think that helps anyway.
But basically, we're like, what is happening? And so finally, like we're I think at this point we have our food and stuff. We're just chilling. But
we definitely did, because I remember slurping soup and saying "Go to hell" to the child.
um, they were sitting there, and Steven's facing towards wherever the child is, and I'm my back to them, and like I just start all of a sudden the noise just starts getting very much louder, and they sound like they're getting closer, and it's like, well, I guess this is where we die at the hands of a child. Let's do something Cthulhu, and then the parent, I'm assuming his dad or father figure, was pushing him along in his stroller, and we saw the kid, and we're like,
Oh
oh,
my god!
okay.
So this was like a child. I was thinking like 12 being annoying.
No, definitely like 5 or 6 just yelling at the top of their lungs.
And,
The way I would literally my problem is because of my job, I find it hard to restrain myself in telling children like what to do in public.
Mm-hmm.
I forget. I need to learn my place.
Okay, well, here's the thing, right? This child wasn't near us. We are in a okay, so this building, it has Panera at the very bottom, and then it's like the office building as far as like student records and stuff that you can go in. And then on the there's an upper floor above that has an opening to where you can see over the dining area in which we are. And then there's a few rooms up there, and then there's more rooms upstairs. They were upstairs somewhere, not in a visible area as far as where we were in the dining area, because like Brandon said, I could see up there. So he's on the second floor, somewhere up there, and because the building is made almost entirely of like concrete material with the walls, it echoes throughout the entire building. And all you hear is just, "Hey, Dad! Hey, Dad! Hey, Dad!" 3 minutes of silence.
I had to keep asking Steven, like, are you sure this child is not, like, right behind us? Because I didn't want to, like, turn around or anything just in case, but, like, it sounded like he was right there. But anyways, yeah, no, this kid, he's sitting in a stroller or whatever, getting pushed, about to go outside, and right in the corner, I just see this tiny little T-Rex. And we put 2 and 2 together that I don't know, I don't know if like the child just decided to start playing with the T-Rex all of a sudden, like just halfway through that whole process, or if he had it the whole time and just. But I don't know. It was.
What was specifically funny about this encounter is that the entire time the entire time the child yelled, I would say something else under my breath, just like shut the fuck up! I'm gonna kill you! I'm gonna kick you! I'm gonna drop kick you!
My god!
I'm so annoyed, running off of 0 energy at this point. I'm just so done with everything, and I'm like trying to study, and she's freaking yelling. It's like, make your child shut up!
No, and every time Steven said something, it'd just get louder, or like the way he would say it would just sound like snappy, like he heard Steven.
And at one point, the child had yelled like really loud, like the loudest it had yelled the entire time, and I was just like, I will send you to Jesus. And then that's when we heard the Cthulhu demon noise happen, and I was just like, I'm sorry, I apologize. And it just turned out it was the voice box of the T-Rex that it was using that was bouncing off all of the walls that made like a really deep pitch like demon noise. And I was just like, I'm sorry.
And we came to the realization that we're like, you know what? We weren't wrong. It was the child summoning whatever noise.
It was the child making that noise, but not for the real reason. Nah, yeah. It's like I can keep saying it after telling the story. People probably won't believe me, but like I love kids. it's the kids that behave.
Does beating children at Disneyland run in your family?
Probably. I don't know. Haven't been to Disneyland.
Want to find out?
Let's go.
Want to sponsor us, Disney?
Disney want to give us money so I can go beat up children in your park? Absolutely, I think that they want.
On accident, though. On accident.
Oh yeah, I'll go find another child after that and say that they are the one I'm supposed to. I'll do that from child to child. That way, every single time it's an accident. They don't need to understand my end game.
This is my application to be a security guard. I'm really good at that.
No.
This is how I would teach. This is how I would treat potential threats.
Some character references, my mother.
The potential threat was a 5-year-old child in a Buzz Lightyear shirt. Then sure, Brandon, go for it. Oh my god. Alright, so with the few minutes that we have left, what are you guys thinking about how we're gonna do podcast stuff? You guys thinking about like sticking to the original format, or
I mean, I definitely think as they come up, and if we think of like a really good topic to stuff, I mean, I think, well, yeah, I'll still talk about stories and stuff like that. But I mean, I also kind of like those few rare episodes that we had where we just kind of did little, I guess, games or whatever, like the duck quiz. But I
Maybe
mean,
like
obviously
every
not
other
exactly like
podcast
that.
and just go to Am I the Asshole on Reddit.
Well,
Who is
stay tuned
the
for next
third wheel in this
episode.
instance?
The third wheel is the person who we deem to be the asshole the most throughout the episode.
But
They're not even the
yeah,
third wheel, they're just deemed the biggest asshole.
but yeah, no, I definitely think like, I mean, we'll stick to kind of the story stuff. But I think it
Oh,
would
you
be,
think?
I think, yeah.
That seems so aggressive. Are you sure? You think so? Really?
But I also think it would be good to change it up every now and then and do like those little, I guess, games, or just not necessarily
Really?
games, but just other, you know what?
Next week, guys, we're gonna find out which one of us is the least duck, and then also which one of us is just the most bird. Yeah! Woo!
But I guess just other outside, like outside of personal stories. Like, well, I mean, we'll figure it out. We'll just kind of figure it out.
Alright. How about you, Grace? What do you think? What do you think? Alright. Good.
Yo, I agree.
Good information. The fact that you're still not saying anything is concerning. Alright, so third wheel became two wheels. We are now a bike.
We went from a tricycle to a.
We're just now a bike. I see the green orb around your icon popping up occasionally, but no words come out of it.
Think.
So you are alive, and you ignored me.
I got distracted.
I thought you weren't doing anything. Alright!
Are you still distracted?
No.
No.
So that one was just personal then.
No. Well, maybe.
Anyways, I want to try and do something like the Wikipedia game that we did. That was pretty fun. Stuff like that, where it's like some game things. Well, the record doesn't show that we did that, but it still does show that Brandon used his pass.
No, that didn't air. That did not air.
I will upload just that one part. All right. I will upload just the 5
I want you to insert the audio right now.
if I can find it. So actually, I'll just explain what happened. So we wanted
you won't,
to do
because it didn't happen.
I will mute you in post so I can explain it. So to explain what happened, the last episode after that's visible from, caught on tape, Grace was deemed third wheel, and the next episode showed she wanted to do this thing, that the Wikipedia.
To be honest, it was more about wanting to play than actually uploading content.
And I was totally cool with that as well, because it was something for the YouTube-only audience as well that would be able to see what the heck was going on. And it was also just funny because Brandon sucks at it.
No, I just didn't lose or win.
How we did the rules was that if you were the first one there, you would get a certain amount of points. Second place would get a certain amount of points, and they would all be tallied. Brandon never won. I think you were second place every single time.
Yeah.
And I think like if you were last, you just didn't get anything. It's because of the fact that you were second place and the way we gave points out. You were just last because both Grace and I like exchanged wins. We did like 4 rounds, right? And you were second each time, every single time.
And we kept alternating our wins.
And yeah, Grace and I kept alternating back and forth.
Well, what happened too was that I don't remember who, but one of you guys had the losing points, but then we decided that it just wasn't. It just should like. It's just
might have
weird
been
how
me.
it works. How I didn't lose without like actually winning one.
Yeah, something like that. But at like the very end, it just points wise, Brandon had the least amount of points and was the third wheel. And Brandon goes, "No, I'm not. I have the pass." And Grace and I are just like, "Oh, God, crap. We forgot that we allowed him this power." And this man had the audacity to say, "I think we all did such a great job here today that all of us are the third wheel." And Grace and I lost our shit. we the whole time we're just like, why would you do that?
Should we just enter in like for the YouTube audience? If we find that audio, can we just like include the ending of Brandon just like being annoying?
Just being like, I think all of us are the third wheel. I don't know why you're Southern. I think all of us are the third wheel, and we did all good job today. And so all of us are the third wheel. And I think, Grace, you were just like, that means we all have to agree on the topic next episode, jackass.
Literally.
It was I just said it could have been like another interlude episode.
I also want to know who's been like third wheel the most, right? Like which one of us has been third wheel the most?
That would require us going back through. So technically, there would be one of us that has more third wheels than the other, because there is a group.
No, yeah, because we've done.
There's 14 episodes, and then one of them even has like one of them's an interlude, and then one of them didn't have a third wheel.
I thought we had like a tie or something once or twice.
We had a tie because of when Andres was on. He said that he agreed.
Shout out to
Brandon.
Andres, come back on again. You were fun.
He agreed with Brandon so that Brandon didn't become the third wheel, because both you and I were just like, nah, it's Brandon, and he was like, no. Oh, back Brandon here. The only concert that Brandon went to was with me. So, yeah. But, yeah, so.
We miss you, Andreas. Come back.
There's definitely going to be one person. We know that Brandon was the first third wheel, the first person to be a third wheel 2 times in a row. I think you also were so close to being the 3rd time in a row as well. Yeah,
He's just bullying at this point.
Yeah, he did it to himself. He set the rules.
It's not our fault you don't have any life experience, Brandon. We just have funnier stories.
Okay, but to be fair, the very first episode, I had a really good story, but then we're like, no, you have the third wheel because it like ended up whatever.
You had a great story. But
well, okay, even if it matches, even if it matches the topic perfectly, if it doesn't like align with like our stories, then you are the third wheel.
Grace and I both never got to enjoy a single school dance of our lives.
That is true.
You at least got a yes.
You got a pity yes.
After like 3 attempts.
After
4
3 attempts, you got a yes. Grace got a yes right away and wasn't allowed inside. Grace got a yes, but her school said no. Yeah. And then
you don't know what we're talking about because
go check out the first episode. School dances. Can't miss it. It's awesome. Love that. I love when I had like a midlife crisis. Remember my story. It was
quarter life crisis.
Yes. Nope. Midlife. I'm gonna die in like 10 years.
Damn.
Okay.
A lot more than mid then.
Nah.
It means
My
you're
whole
like
life is
2/3 through your life.
What?
What?
You're not funny.
I thought it was hilarious, actually.
You're not funny, you sad, sad little man.
Aww. Alright, we want to do this wheel on who's responsible for this.
Absolutely.
Alright, we'll make it spin for like 20
Who's
seconds.
responsible?
Just, can one of them just be Ty?
Yes,
What?
absolutely.
No,
Do it. Do
no,
it.
'cause
Do it
that'll
right
make
now.
it-
Do it right now. Right
I
now.
don't submit to peer pressure!
Another interlude!
Good God. Alright, I'm gonna keep tapping it until one of you says to stop tapping the wheel, because it's gonna keep
Stop.
Alright.
I'll still keep going for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, because we have the time for that. I mean, to be fair, I don't think we've ever been on time ever.
Oh.
Alright, it's spinning. It's spinning. It is still. Ah!
did it go in between? Is it a tie between two people?
That's not how the wheel works. No, it was slowly staying on Grace, and at the very end it went to me. So I am in charge of the next episode
Sensational.
by like maybe 2 pixels. You are now nowhere in the running, Brandon. The wheel does not appreciate you.
That's okay, because my topic was gonna be a full-fledged like debate on whether I keep my pass or not.
Keep your
Still love the idea
No.
that prepubescent Brandon tried to flex the fact that his dad could fly a helicopter.
That's a topic for another day.
I think I talked about it, didn't I?
Yeah.
Unless it was an episode that never aired, but I thought I talked about it.
No, you talked about it. That was you trying to impress one girl or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Story would have been. Never mind.
You know, I wouldn't mind being impressed that your dad can fly a helicopter.
Interesting.
But you know that he has to be there with the helicopter, and you can't be there.
Just get your pilot's license. It's so easy, dude.
No, it has to be his stepdad.
Wait, what? Oh my god. Alright, so I guess that's the time that we have. Guys, that was already an hour. Are you proud of yourselves? Kind of on time?
I kind of
hungry.
Fair enough. And Brandon, just so that the record shows, no, you do not get to keep that pass.
That's what you think.
That was a mistake. That pass was a mistake.
That pass was very much a mistake, but to be granted, when I made the rule, I thought I would get it. So.
Yeah.
It can't be a mistake unless you let me keep it and then continue to use it for.
No, that's how mistakes actually.
How about
are.
okay? How about from this point in the future, we can have passes, but the only people who can bestow them are guests.
Fair.
That way, instead of who's the third wheel, we can do. They single-handedly decide who the third wheel is and who gets a pass.
Fair. I appreciate. I'm good with that. I'm also going to say, Brandon, you don't get to keep that, right? Because we're in a new season. Yeah, the time has expired.
New season.
New season. That's expired.
It's okay, I'll smuggle another one in.
How the hell? What?
Don't worry about it.
You said smuggle, but I heard that as snuggle, and I was like, what do you mean you're snuggling? Oh wait, that's the wrong word anyway.
It's okay, I'll figure it out.
Nah, I don't think you will. Go ahead, send us out, Brandon. Do it.
I forgot the outro, so we're gonna wing it.
We don't have an outro.
We kind of talked about stuff. Okay. Whatever platform you're listening on, give it a follow or subscribe, whichever different word you use for following it. If you, we also have the YouTube channel.
Yeah, we do.
The YouTube channel does have funny clips like that caught on camera one. I can't remember if we actually did, but
Which we exploded, so thank you so much to all of our listeners for that.
Especially check out that YouTube video for the icons to see Grace get slapped and Brandon break his arm.
Yeah. And because of that, we could have potential episodes where we do stuff on YouTube, so you never know. But other than that, we'll see you when ever this uploads. Yeah.
The time has not.
Uh.
The time has not changed. It's still Monday. Monday midnight. As soon as it turns to Monday, there's
Yep,
an episode.
That's what I said that, right? Yep.
Accurate.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
I said that.
I heard it.
Yep. Yes, you
didn't.
did.
Ah,
It's okay. The listeners heard it. That's all that.
you sure?
Will
I'm
they?
on editing this. You sure they heard it?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Yep. Sorry. Am I missing anything? Am I missing anything? I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like I'm missing something.
Probably the ending.
What? How did we used to end things?
It doesn't matter. We're in a new season.
Alright, okay guys, I'm bringing this voice back because I can, and I just remembered. I used to do this sometimes. I can't. I'm sorry.
It's okay, buddy. Drink some water. Alright, thank you so much for listening on whatever platform you're listening in on. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for everything, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey guys.